Hey guys, today I am going to read the story Mother Tell Us a Story. So let's start. Storytelling goes back to ancient time long before writing was invented. But where do stories come from? Different cultures explains the origin of stories differently. This popular folk tale from Africa describes how a woman found stories for her children. Till now, I have read that what we are going to read in this story. Let's start session 1. Mother, tell us a story. Mansa's children said when they sat around the fire at night. Mansa could think of story, however hard she thought. No one else in the village knew stories. The village where these story seeking children lived in Zululand in Africa. People hunted for meat or tilled land in the village. Sometimes they fished or caught crabs. The villagers, who were clever with their hands, wove baskets and made wooden carvings. The cleverest of them was Zenzala, Mansa's husband. He carved birds, trees, plants, flowers, and animals. However, he knew no stories. One day, Zenzel told Mansa, "Go, look for stories. I will look after our home and children." Mansa thought it was a very good idea. She packed some food and kissed her children. With a basket on her head and colorful beads on her dresses sewing, Mansa set out to look for stories. A hare looked at her curiously. Mansa knew that the hare was a tricky fellow, but she decided to ask him if he knew any stories. You never know who can be of help. "Oh, clever hare," she said in a flattering tone. "Do you know any stories? My children want to hear stories every evening." "Stories?" Hare said. "I know millions, but I have more important things to do." So, saying, he bounded off. Mansa knew he was lying. He had no stories. He was a real tricker. The Mansa met Finny, the baboon. She was playing with her babies. "Finny," she called, "do you tell your kids stories?" "What are stories?" asked Finny. "I am busy keeping my babies fed and warm. I have no time for anything else." Shying Mansa went on. She saw an owl in a wild fig tree. "Oh, owl," she called, "do you have any stories for me to take home?" The owl was upset because her sleep had been disturbed. "You woke me up for stories?" she hooted. "Humans cannot live in peace and are always looking for something." She grumbled as she settled down and began to nod off again. Mansa worked on sadly. She saw an elephant ears flapping as he ate bananas. "Kind elephant," she said, "do you know any stories? My children are hungry for some tales. Where can I look for them?" The elephant felt sorry for her. "I don't know any stories," he said, "but the king of birds, eagle, flies high in the sky and sees many things that others do not." "That is good idea," Mansa exclaimed. "Thank you." Mansa saw the great fish eagle near the mouth of the Tugela River, a river in the South Africa. Swooping down from the sky, talons outstretched to grab a fish. "Oh, great eagle," she called. Startled, the eagle dropped the fish he had picked up. He landed on the shore near Mansa. "What do you want?" he asked. "Oh, great and wise eagle," Mansa said flatteringly. for the eagle was a vain bird. My children are hungry for stories, but we have none. Do you know of any that I can take back to them? Well, the eagle said, feeling important, I am wise, but I only know of things on earth. There is one who knows the secret of the deep, dark ocean. Perhaps he could help you. I will try to and call him for you. Stay here and wait for me. So Mansa waited for the fish eagle to return. Here I am, the eagle called. I have brought my friend, the big sea turtle. He has agreed to take you to a place where you can find stories. The great sea turtle lifted himself out of the ocean and said in a deep voice, climb on my back and hold on to my shell. I will carry you to the land of spirit people. Mansa took hold of his shell and they went into the depth of ocean. Mansa's eye grew rounder and rounder as they went deep into the ocean. Everything beautiful and unlike on the earth. Finally they came to the bottom of the ocean, the dwelling of the spirit people. The king and the queen sat on the magnificent throne and their faces shone with such a light that Mansa was a little shy and afraid. She bowed before them. What do you want, woman from the dry lands? They asked kindly. Do you have stories that I could take home? Mansa asked shyly. We have many stories, they said. But what will you give us in exchange, Mansa? What would you like? Mansa asked. We would like a picture of your home and your people. It would be nice to see that place because we cannot go there. Can you bring us a picture, Mansa? I can do that, she said. My husband carves beautiful pictures. He will carve a lovely one for you. Mansa climbed into the turtle's shell and he took her back to the shore. She thanked him and asked him to return at the next full moon to collect her and the picture. Then Mansa went home and got Zenzel to carve her a beautiful picture which showed the forest and the river and all the animals and birds on the earth. The picture also had the village and the people in it. When Zenzel finished it, he wrapped it in a piece of cloth and tied it to Mansa's back. Mansa climbed into the turtle's back and they went to the land of spirit people. The king and the queen of the spirit people were very happy with the picture. For you and your people, they said, we give the gift of stories. They handed her the largest and most beautiful shell she had ever seen. Hold this shell to your ear to hear a tale. Back in the village, her children clamored, Mother, tell us a story. Mansa put the shell to her ear and began. Once upon a time, and that is how stories came to be.